It's lit. Oh, you want me to start?
Yeah, why don't you start?
Welcome to the North Shore 9 live podcast. We don't count these episodes, do we?
Sure.
I'm Ryan. This is number one for me.
Why don't you move in actually on the camera?
This is number one. I'm Ryan Alexander. That's Anthony Donardo.
I'm Anthony Donardo.
But look at that split screen, man. It's like you have the same exact window and wall behind me.
It's crazy. Are we at the same place actually, Ryan?
We could be.
This is amazing.
This is pretty cool.
We're together again.
Together.
Ryan returns to NS9LIVE. Officially.
There you go. Wagner to Kutch. Why are you guys in the same room? Because it's lit, man. We're next to each other.
Why do you look so short? This chair.
know.
I mean, I know I'm taller, but is this chair much higher than yours?
Well, you're taller
There
than
you
me.
go. Now it looks
I'm
a little
only
better.
6
Sit up
footer.
straight.
I'm only 6
Get
footer.
that posture going.
You know, whatever.
So, what's up, everyone? How y'all doing?
We got some people here. The Pittsburgh kid. He's on.
Platt, what's he saying?
He ain't saying nothing. He just got on here. So, how about that live podcast last week?
It was good. I enjoyed it. We
Yeah.
had a decent turnaround. I got to say though, we didn't get to really talk and mingle with too many people. Unfortunately, we
I feel like I'm too close to you if I do that.
get closer, Ryan.
Yeah.
Come on my shoulder.
All right.
But I feel like we started the podcast late. By the time we finished, it was like 3:30, which meant everyone was more or less on the way to the show, the game, not the show. But I mean, it was good. It was fun. I think what we've learned from this is next time, instead of a 3-hour window, maybe do it 4.
Yeah. Well, the Pirates, the 4 o'clock game wasn't the best. I mean, when we originally scheduled it, I think we thought it was a night game, didn't we?
No, we definitely did.
So,
Actually,
the 4 o'clock game
so
kinda
everyone
threw us
talking
off.
about, I mean, us obviously have the same days around the 4 and 2. It wasn't the worst
Ours was
idea
better.
in the world.
Right.
Because, again, we thought it was a 7 o'clock game. So we were going to go to around the 4 and 2's event.
Right. Well, you were. I wasn't.
And then we were going to go to ours. And then they
Right.
probably were going to tag along and come. So it was like actually a pretty cool idea until we found out that it's a 4 o'clock game.
Yeah, so we kind of ran out of time, but yeah, so we kind of got stuck on the, recording a lot, and then people were showing up with contracts from Hannes Wagner, and shout out to Chaz. So we had, we had to get these people on air, and, so we nice emoji there. We,
Disgruntled Ryan.
so we got caught on there, so we were a little behind. We didn't get our bobbleheads. So now we're going to have to pay
Yeah,
like $30.
that's the funny thing too.
We're going to have to pay $30 on eBay if we want them. Though after today's start, maybe I want one now. Archer didn't look too bad today.
Yeah. Last start was not the most successful one, but it was a step forward, I would say.
Right.
And then, of course, today's start. I
Today.
mean, of course, the first, Freddie Freeman gives up a home run. And you're thinking,
Yeah, that's
oh, boy,
gonna happen.
here we go.
It's gonna
But,
happen.
I mean, Archer, he laid it down. That was
he
it.
did.
He I think walked one guy.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
So
Struck out 6 over 6.
That's one thing. Like, of
One
the past
run.
2 starts, he's been
Yep.
throwing strikes, hasn't been giving the free passes. I mean, this is good. This is the Archer we're definitely going to need if this team's going to be successful. So, we got that going.
Smitty says, imagine not having a bobblehead.
Wait, does Smitty even have one?
Who knows how Jeff probably got him one.
I was going to say, it was going to make me pissed off as if, like, all around the 4 and 2 has one and we don't.
They probably had him before the game, before they even handed him out. They
had
somehow
him
got one.
autographed.
Yeah, of course.
That's all right.
It happens. But no, so we didn't get our bobbleheads. We didn't even, I don't even want to tell you what inning we got in there. But yeah, but then it ended up being it was a long ass 13 inning game. I mean, it was,
Right.
we were there for the end. But no, we got in there. I got my slice on Broadway, and but we got to see it. Like I said, I wish we could have kind of hung out with more people at the actual tailgate.
Yeah.
But we saw some people at the in the stadium, and there were people lurking that we really didn't even know there. We kind of knew they were there from Twitter, but people were lurking. You know who you are, people that were lurking.
And that's exactly the thing, because you see them from, like, you knew they were going to be there from Twitter, but of course you still don't have a face to the handle. So you don't know who they are. So when you see people lurking, and of course there's multiple of them, you can't be like, oh, that's XYZ. You have no idea.
Platt says, imagine walking the wrong way to get into the stadium. Yeah, Platt and that was Platt and Tyler, right?
Yeah.
So they, guys that have been going to Pirate games for years, and Platt goes all the time. Now, Wags is from Ohio, so you got to give him a little bit of whatever, a little bit of lenience, I guess. But they get on the Riverwalk from the parking lot that we're at. That's 8 minutes walk away from PNC Park, and they go the wrong way. They started walking towards like Heinz
the people that identify
in like the Strip District.
Terrible.
I was like, what?
We have the worst fans.
How far did they walk? Is what I want to know.
Y'all so dumb.
I mean, that's bad. That's bad. So that's no sense of direction there. Blind leading the blind.
Anyway,
it was not a mile away.
It was definitely a fun time, but I would definitely say from going forward, like for 7 o'clock games, we used to do it like starting at 4. I think now starting at 3. Mm-hmm. We'll do it if you want to be on the podcast. It's like from 3 to 4:30 is a podcast, and then from 4:30 on, we actually can entertain because we say 3 to 4:30 be the podcast, but like this week we say 3 to 4:30, but end up being 4 to 5:30.
Right. Plus, we don't know. You don't know who is all coming exactly. You don't know who wants to be on air. I mean, you kind of have an idea,
right?
But it's that Chaz showing up with the thing. Yeah, if we have enough charcoal. Chris with the Renegade showing up, he's gonna be on. So it's you kind of it kind of just goes with the flow. You kind of whoever's there and we talk and you kick Rug off when he starts talking about positive thinking and stuff.
You had me at kick Rug off.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there.
Exactly.
Just kick Rug off.
We got lawyers showing up and stuff, so we had to get people on.
Right.
But so like I said, I think definitely a 7 o'clock game next time would be ideal.
Imagine.
But it was a good time.
My GIF isn't working here.
Imagine that.
Jeez.
What GIF was it?
This right here.
It's a GIF anyway.
Right there.
I'm with stupid.
Right here. It's supposed to be moving. Anyways, next time. Anyways, we don't win anymore.
Do we want to talk about?
I guess let's talk. I don't want to say it's the biggest news, but there's definitely some positive news coming out of the woodwork, and it's that our boy Corey Big Dick Dickerson is returning potentially the next few days.
Yeah, he's making the trip to Milwaukee.
That's
Big
good.
Road trip coming up.
That's good.
Is it good that he's back though? Because everybody's playing well in the outfield. Can he pitch? If we had a pitcher coming back, I think that'd be good news. But I don't know about another outfielder.
I guess it's the point you're making is
it's we're good there.
Of the needs, it's not the most needy one, but the fact that people are getting healthy, and also this. I mean, you know how baseball works. Things always just work themselves out.
Right.
Dickerson's coming back healthy, and I'm sorry, knocking on all the wood here.
This is wood.
Someone's going down next week.
Pause.
Somebody's going down. I'm not talking about them sending literally Reynolds down.
It'll probably be Melky.
I'm talking about an injury's going to happen.
Yeah, Melky will
because
go
that's
down.
just what happens. So at least Dickerson's coming back. I look at this good news. I mean, he's finally here. He's played 2 games.
Yeah.
So he finally makes his 2019 debut almost. You can put it that way. And it just gives the offense a little more another dynamic. I know what you're saying, Marte, Polanco,
I know
Reynolds, Melky,
who can play second? Can any of them? Who wants to jump in at second base?
I would say let Corey do it.
Hey.
And Gold Glove left
He's
field.
a Gold Glover though.
What's second
but
base?
But Reynolds has +5 defensive run saves, and he's played a month and a half or something.
Although he has one error in the outfield, and everyone goes, "Oh, that's the Reynolds you guys want."
Dude, people are flipping out because Bell went 0 for 5 one game.
Right.
His swing's messed up.
It's gone. Bell, we can't have nice things. It's over.
Speaking
we
of
can't
which,
have nice things.
I saw a stat, and I'm just gonna run with it. I don't even know if this is true, but it sounds right. Bell is 10 extra base hits up on the rest of baseball. Did you see that?
I didn't.
I don't know. Somebody tweeted that out. So if it's wrong, I'll take it. But yeah, somebody said he's 10 extra base hits ahead of anybody else in baseball.
I have to look into that. That would probably be really
doubled,
quickly to find out right now, but we ain't going to do the
today.
research.
No, we ain't going to research that. I mean, I could.
Yeah, he went, 3 for 4?
Yeah, he had a pretty good day.
Yeah. Bell bite.
Moran hit another home run. Polanco.
Maybe talk real lightly. I think this is going to be more of a podcast thing, but we talked about Moran on the live show, and I think it was with Ruga, giving him some credit. I was like, in the month of May, this is what Moran has done, and he's still continuing it. Like you said, another home run. I'm not out here saying Moran is an all-star and
I am.
We got the best third baseman in baseball, but what I'm saying is this position that was such a hole, and you're praying that Gunn could do something, and he showed that he can't do anything.
Well, here it is. This was going into today. Bell has 42. Did he have 3 doubles today? Bellinger had 35 extra base hits. So it's it's pretty plausible.
Yeah. But I do want to give the kudos to Moran because he's definitely holding down that third base position at a solid rate for us. And again, like the power now coming.
Right, because Gung ain't here.
But Gung's batting like 500 in AAA.
How many strikeouts?
Actually, I'm not sure. I didn't see that. But he's producing down there. So I don't know. The thing is, like Dickerson, like the thing is, the offense seems to be clicking.
Bell had 3 doubles today. I'm like, I think he had 1 or 2. He had 3.
All of them?
So yeah, he's up 10 extra base hits on Bellinger. I mean, and
Jesus.
Bellinger's having like Bellinger
a career.
Was
He's having like a season of the ages.
This is wild.
And then Bell.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Whew.
Think about honestly too, the season that Bellinger is having, and Bell 10 more total bases. That's crazy.
Smitty, I didn't want to go off of what you were saying, Smitty. So Smitty says, check the chat. Sorry.
No.
I was on Baseball Reference.
Was it Smitty? We ain't checking that.
No, we always look ahead. We're Pirate fans, so you have to look ahead. But like,
always looking the next year. Kick that can.
Moran's not the third baseman of the future, right? Like that's Hayes. So
yeah.
In a year or two, probably next year, like Hayes is going to be at third.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker or Newman's going to be at short. Bell, you got Will Craig. Like Moran's going to be on the bench, but like Moran coming off the bench seems like a pretty good bench bat at this point. I mean, he's got that pop.
Yes, but doesn't it almost seem wasteful too? Like to have,
but
that talented of a player on the bench, you might have to, because the thing is,
he's going to be cheap.
What can he play? He can play third,
DH,
and he can play first,
DH.
He's not playing second, Ryan. He's not playing left field.
No,
so you're not going to have him as like this super utility guy. And like as you mentioned, you have reserves. You have Will Craig. Newman can also slide and play third base. Like where's Moran's role? Like legit just a bench bat next year? Don't you think his value would be more as a trade chip? So, I mean, this is good. I would rather him playing
But I mean, it's not like he's going to be making $7 million and you can't have him sit the bench. You know what I mean?
I know, but at the same sense, it's just like you still could have a good bench.
I mean, yeah, if you
potentially,
who's trading? I mean, I don't know. Maybe
and you can have Eric Gonzalez back, baby. The young Freddie Galvis.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyways, still you're looking down the road, but for 2019 purposes, Colin Moran playing
third base
pretty well right now is looking very nicely for this club.
Yep.
Dickerson comes back. So let's get into this. Dickerson's coming back. 5-man outfield rotation.
Yes, it's the old rotation from last year.
But the thing is, like last year, we had a 4-man rotation, which made sense. Keep everyone fresh. But now you got 5 guys, Ryan.
They drink water, Wag says. Hey, I got beer. You want me to get some beer?
This ain't Donardo's dugout.
That's vodka in here anyway.
Yeah.
We're a PG show.
And we're just playing with a baby, so
yeah. This is Dad Ryan over here show. But as far as what the hell were we talking about?
The 5-man rotation.
Look, last year it worked until just like Meadows cooled and couldn't hit nothing. And then they wouldn't send him down. Then they did send him down, then they traded him.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. Look, Dickerson's signed for 1 more year.
True.
He's not going to be in a Pirates uniform most likely next year.
Not the way this outfield's playing.
You're probably not going to be able to trade him for much at the deadline because we've seen the market for outfielders in the deadline for a rental outfielder just be basically nothing. Unless you're shopping.
And that's prospect-wise. Like getting prospects. And the thing, too, is, I mean, you could look at Dickerson as a good trade commodity for a pitcher.
Right.
But there's really not teams that are trading pitchers that would need a rental outfielder. You know what I mean? Like,
we're not
if I'm trading for Dickerson, that probably means I'm in contention.
Right.
And if I'm in contention, I probably don't want to give up any pitching,
then
even
again,
if I'm healthy.
The Giants would probably trade for him right now, even though they're 11 under.
They're going for it, baby.
They need an outfielder and like 6 of them. But the thing is, if you even want to make that attempt where you're like, all right, we want to trade this guy, like he's got to play before the deadline. Like you got to get him some reps to see that he can still like do it.
Right.
So look, you got to and look, the year he had last year, he hit over 315, Gold Glove. Like you want him in there, but Polanco and right, you got Marte in center. Reynolds has been great. Like you don't want to bench Reynolds. You don't want to send Reynolds down. Like I don't want to.
So that's the question I was going to ask. I mean, so let's just get into that real quick as we finish up. But like, do you send Reynolds down? Because
No.
he's playing so well, so he's forcing the hand to be there. But at the same time, do you have someone like Reynolds wasting away on the bench? Or do you let him get the bats?
Is this Figueroa in here, Kevin?
Yeah.
He says the Braves will give us Donaldson for a closer. I said, you guys can have Rich Rod.
He's a closer.
We'll take Donaldson for Rich Rod.
He had like a couple saves last year.
There you go. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't send Reynolds down. I think at this point that's crazy talk. And it's like you want Dickerson to play, but you don't want him to play in the expense of Reynolds. Like you want to both get them at bat. So look, can all three guys play every single day? No. So there is probably going to be some sort of rotation.
Sure.
But then, like, so what? Melky just gets relegated to the bench? Because, like, Melky's hitting, like, 330 or 3, you know. It's like...
So that's kind of like what I'm getting at. So I want to play devil's advocate. All the people that say you can't send Reynolds down, right? You can't do it. You can't do it. He's playing so well, right? But at the same time, if you're having Corey Dickerson come in...
Right.
Reynolds does go down. Does this club really skip a beat? Because, like you say, like you still have Dickerson, you have Marte, you have Polanco. Melky's playing. He's producing. You know, so you basically can have the same outfield and get Reynolds more at-bats. I'm not saying this is what I want, but again, to play devil's advocate, is that the worst thing in the world? I don't think so. You know, I think this club can still do what they're doing. As long as Dickerson is healthy and is producing.
Which is still a question mark, I think. You want to see him get out there and actually prove it.
Right. So, like, going back to last year, like, you still can have that four-man rotation. It's with Melky.
Right.
And I don't see that being the worst thing in the world either.
I can't send Reynolds down. I can't do it.
I
mean, the Pirates sent Meadows down last year when he was struggling.
But he was struggling. And that's the thing, too.
Of course, that's after
Reynolds
they didn't
has
set him down
seen
for 2 weeks and they just set him on the bench.
more plate appearances than Meadows did when he started struggling.
Right.
And Reynolds is actually, he's going to that next level.
Right.
You know, he's getting better. Like, the power's really coming through. You know, you're seeing him being truly an everyday player. So I don't think you can, too. I think the real answer is, like, you find a way to have a five-man rotation. And if it's Melky being a bench bat, I guess so. Because the defense isn't there.
Smitty says, Reynolds, Keller, and Swaggerty to the Rays. Wag said for Glasnow. Who's on the 60-day DL, so he'd fit right in here.
That'd be perfect.
We got a pitcher. He's in.
Charlie Morton.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Charlie, and we're gonna make him pitch to contact when he comes here.
Oh man.
We're gonna make him throw the sinker again.
Oh.
He's coming back
We
to
would
Pittsburgh
too. We
throwing
would
the
too.
sinker.
Yeah, they got. I mean, it's a good problem to have. Like you said, somebody will probably go down.
Oh, you know what?
Polanco will probably be due for a.
I didn't put my dick.
Oh, look at that! You got to put the dick up. The dick pic.
Big dick.
Yeah, I mean, somebody will go down. It'll happen. It works itself out. But yeah, I think you gotta get creative and kind of do that rotation and play. Play everybody, basically. And it was kind of what they do last year. It was kind of like Meadows. He'd play like center, and then he'd play right. Like he kind of went through the outfield to give everyone like a day off, and then he would be out for a game or two.
It's like everyone was like 3 on, 1 off, essentially.
Right. So you could do it. I don't really trust Hurdle and them to really do it right. That's the other issue.
Well, the issue more or less again is it's not a 4-man; it's a 5-man now.
Oh, Amanda's here.
So like
Shout out.
How do you play into the 5-man? Like, is it a 4-man and Melky is straight bench man?
Probably.
I mean, the defense isn't there for Melky.
No.
But you would want more than one at bat from Melky every game, I would assume, because he's batting so well. Like if he had the at bats, he's up there for like the batting.
Yeah, I mean the good part about that is you have a pretty good bench if you got Melky or one of the guys in the outfield coming off of it. So, but yeah, you're right. Like you just want to relegate him to one pinch hit a game. I don't know. I mean, maybe he just fits in if somebody's out or needs a break or whatever. But yeah, it's
maybe he starts a game and goes out.
Maybe you trade Melky
6th. Well, we'll definitely get into trade talk, and I think a lot hinges on Dickerson when he comes back up and how he performs.
Right.
But I mean, maybe just say that real quick. Who would your trade chip be this year if all things play out right?
Are we buying or selling?
So they're not. Okay.
That's the other
if
question.
We're buying, I won't say buy. If we're in contention,
then
do you make a trade with an outfielder? Or do you keep him? And if you do, who do you trade?
I wanted to trade Polanco like a year and a half ago. You had Reynolds, you have Martin,
Ryan
you had
was
Dickerson.
all over the Luplo.
And I thought, well, I wasn't all over that, but Luplo's actually one of the guys hitting now.
You more or less were just saying, like, get the value out of Polanco.
I was basically...
Luplo might not be what he is, but he's serviceable.
Right. And if not, you had Martin in the back, you had Reynolds, you had guys that could fill in who probably hold down a corner spot. And that was before Melky even showed up and was hitting 340. But my thing was, Polanco has the control. He has a team-friendly deal. He's young enough where you could see somebody like, who was it, the Royals that did the Soler deal, where they traded like a top-notch closer, or we thought at the time, for Soler because he was young. He still had that potential.
Yeah.
So I figured Polanco could bring back the best kind of pitching return, whether it's a starter out, who knows at that point. They didn't do it. I don't know if you can make that deal now because you lose Dickerson next year. Melky's only signed up for this year, so it's like you found Reynolds, but you kind of need that third guy. And Swaggerty's not ready, and Martin. I don't. We saw Martin really hot, and then we saw him, struggle too. So at this point, if you get to the deadline and you're kind of in contention, I mean, Dickerson is probably the one that makes sense if he's performing well, and Reynolds just hasn't regressed or has like really struggled like Meadows did. But the problem is, I just don't think you get much for Dickerson, and that's the. So, if you're selling at the deadline, then sell Dickerson and try to get anything.
Whatever you can get.
If they give you,
and Melky.
A couple guys to run this podcast would probably be better. But you do it. But at this point, it's going to come down to like last year. We don't, do we want them to even get close to contention where Huntington wants to buy? Because we saw how that went last year.
Right.
And, so they got some, this next month and a half, some questions to answer.
A bunch of questions. I'm answering immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And it's to me, this team is going to be what it is right now, hanging around 500 below mediocre until the pitching gets healthy. Because Lord knows Rookie Davis starting at Miller Park tomorrow is going to be brutal. And Kingham and Brault starting every couple days isn't good either. It's just no one can throw some zeros out there and get some solid innings.
True.
So, see, think about that. Rookie Davis in Miller Park? That's suicide.
Yeah, let's move on. So, this has been a hot topic. So, obviously, it's a good transition. We're talking about the outfield. We mentioned about Melky and, Dickerson as being trade chips. But Andrew McCutchen, which, we're saying this sucks. But Andrew McCutchen goes down, torn ACL, which sparks all the rumors Philadelphia needs an outfielder.
Pirates won the deal. They won it before the injury. It wasn't even to the Phillies. Ryan. So whatever.
Anyways, Philadelphia needs an outfielder, and of course, everyone goes off this train. Apparently, for some reason now, the hot topic is get rid of our boy Staring Marte.
Right.
Trade him to Philadelphia because he hasn't reached his potential. He's underachieved is the buzzword right now. Of course, he's lazy. He's dumb. He's
PD user.
He can't run, the bases. He can't hit for,
He dances after wins too much on Instagram.
He probably wears too much jewelry. We'll get into that. But, it's like trade Marte. Now, here's my take on this, okay? You do not trade Staring Marte at this point in time. He is not underperforming. He does have value. He's the absolute opposite of...
Melky? I don't know.
No, what? Wait, a liability.
Oh, sorry. I was like, what are we doing here?
Lost my train of thought. Like the way his contract is set up, he has this year and then 2 more years of us. Right. That's that window we're talking about. That's the Archer window that was created.
The
right?
Archer window. Is that what we're calling it?
That's what I'm calling it.
the Archer window. It's that window behind us.
Yeah,
it's closed shut.
So, I mean, if you are legit wanting to contend, you do not trade Marte. But if you look at this season and say, which I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening regardless. This is probably more of an offseason deal, though. But if you look at this season and just say, you know what? We're not there. We've made some errors. We've made some mistakes. This Archer trade was horrendous. Let's retool and build around like the Bell and the Reynolds or whatever.
Right.
I could see a Marte because his value probably is higher at this point in time. As we saw, like we talked about Andrew McCutchen. Like if you look at Marte the same round as like Andrew McCutchen, now's the time in the period you want to try trading him and not 2 years from now. Right?
Did you just... Yeah, but you just said don't trade him.
No, I'm saying I'm not if you look at that window and say we're going for it. But if you're saying, like, I made some errors, I made some mistakes, let's retool around the Bell, Reynolds, like the younger guys.
Yeah.
Then if you want to trade Marte, that's fine. But that's because you're not going for it.
And that's,
if you're going for it, you need Starling Marte.
And that to me, I'm okay with the Marte trade because he has that value. You'd have to pull something back though. And Wags makes a good point on the chat. The Philly system is trash. First off, I mean most of their guys are up. Or like your boy, what's the shortstop that I hated?
Kingery.
No, not Kingery.
J.B. Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford. He just didn't pan out. But unless you're like trading Marte, like you mentioned, he has that value. Are we getting Nick Pivetta back? Or are we getting like a starting pitcher? That's the kind of deal where I'd be interested in talking. But to trade him for a single A, double A prospect,
unless Alec Bohm.
Well, there you go. No, isn't he third base too, though?
He's third base.
But there'll be another third baseman, first baseman.
Stud.
But don't worry, the DH is coming to the NL, so we got to embrace it, apparently.
And by the time he's here,
but that's what I'm saying.
He can play first. Hayes will play third. And Bell will be DH.
I like the Pirates outfield prospects with Reynolds. You have whether I wanted to trade Polanco, but you had Marte, or you trade Marte and you keep Polanco. And then you have Swagger. You have guys that are there that you feel comfortable enough to trade one of them, but it has to be that right deal. You can't just trade them for whatever.
Right.
Like you have to trade them, and I still think, like you said, if they're selling at the deadline and they're 7 under or whatever, and they sell, you could sell Marte for maybe Alec Braun, like you said, but it's got to be somebody that's close that's going to help you in this Archer window still. But I don't know if that deal's out there. And with the Phillies, I don't know. But
yeah.
It was funny too because people were like, "Oh, they need a center fielder now," and I was like, "Well, McCutchen isn't a center fielder." And then I saw like he's been playing center field for the Phillies. I was like, "Wow, okay." I didn't realize he was playing center. That's all. The heck happened?
Well, now they got Adam Hazley up there, so.
Yeah, they got Hazley. They got Kingery out there in the outfield now. So
Kingery's been dominating this year too.
Yeah. I traded him to you. Dang, our fan. What is it? Our Strat League. Stratomatic League. It's not even a fantasy.
Anyways.
And that's the other problem is Wagner just pointed out. Do we really trust Huntington to trade a real player for prospects? No, the problem is do I trust Neil Huntington? I think he could get some prospects down the road. But can he make a trade like Marte for an MLB player? That's the question I have right now. Or will he just do the quantity for quality like he did, quantity over quality like with a Cole trade? Let's just pull in 4 pieces and hope 1 or 2 of them hits.
Right.
Which,
I don't know. It's intriguing. It is. I mean, the thing that bothers me though too is the fact, like you're saying, if you're trading Marte, Dickerson and Melky are gone after the season. You're left with Reynolds and Polanco.
Yep.
Who is that third outfielder now? I mean, is it really?
Oh wait, we traded him for Eric Gonzalez.
Maybe it's Eric Gonzalez?
Oh.
Is it? I mean, is it Jason Martin?
Could be.
I don't.
It's Colin Moran.
You know what I mean? Like now it's the same situation. Where we traded Glasnow and Meadows to a degree. It's like you trade Marte, but now you're giving yourself a hole again, and you need another outfielder. So why and how does that even still make sense? Unless you're getting an outfielder in return, which I don't see happening. No. Maybe they trade us McCutchen. So we have him for next year. So we get Kutch back
for 2 more years. Right? He has a 3-year deal, right?
Yeah.
Pivetta and Kutch.
$25 million a year.
Pivetta and Kutch for Marte. Lock it up.
There you go.
Send it in.
Done deal.
And if not, we'll take Alec Braum. That's a good one though, because Braum's in Double A, isn't he?
Boom. High.
Boom. Braum.
Bohm.
I thought he has an R in there. Isn't it Braum? Anyway.
Could be.
Is he in Double A?
Pretty sure it's not. No, he's in
You're
high.
like pretty sure it's
he's
not.
He's in high, but he's
high.
He's doing well.
Anyway.
Alec.
I thought.
See, it's not.
What?
Boom.
Is it Alec?
Take out the R.
You're ridiculous.
This is the worst. We're the worst show.
Yeah, there he is.
Anyways.
He is in. Oh, he's in A-ball. We don't want him. Forget it.
Yeah, but he's on that.
Oh my God, they got NCAA numbers on Baseball Reference now. Boy, they're getting everything.
Cool.
Anyway.
All right. So don't trade Staring Marte is pretty much where we're at, right?
Possibly, yes.
Possibly.
Trade Polanco. No,
anyways. All right. So the last one we're going to pretty much wrap up and touch here is there was another incident with the Pirates this week, Ryan. Seems like every week there's an incident that takes place. And more or less...
I just chatted out. Pirates announcers talk.
Recently, yeah. It's been the announcers. It's not even the play, right?
Right.
It's been stuff that's said by the announcers. And this week, we have Blass and Acuna.
Well, and back it up. So was it last week the Red Series? You know, Wainer was out there saying... talking crap on the Reds. And, all that stuff. And it's like, oh, God.
Dietrich's grandfather, how would he feel?
He's rolling, how would he feel and all that stuff.
Rolling in his grave.
So we heard that about Wainer, and it's like, I mean, Wainer's not an old dude like Blass or something. So now, I haven't been up to date on this one as much, so you were kind of filling me in before the show. So what did Blass basically say? Like what?
Well, he basically said that Acuna deserved getting thrown out there because of his flashy jewelry. Now,
like what?
Here's the thing. Like, so here's what we're talking about this, and we haven't said anything on Twitter. Wanted to more or less give our thoughts and opinions, on the show here. But this is blown up, Ryan. Like, this is blown up, Major League Baseball wise, because
Blass should have retired last year.
It's turned into these racist comments by the Pirates announcer. Now, my thought, let's back up here, okay? Because to me, at least, this has nothing to do with racism.
Yeah.
Nothing about it was directed to racism because it was the same. Like he said, like back in my day, this is what would happen, right? And it's that old man yelling at clouds thing, right?
It's the old white dude who's just out of touch.
And I'm sure he's right. But it's not because he was a man of color that we're doing it. It's because, well, he's a man of flash. You just said it. You just said it right now. Derek Dietrich. Last week. Like, this has been a topic to a degree, like week over week now, and it hasn't been by color or anything.
Right.
It's just, this guy, his flash. He's not about substance. He's about flash and his jewelry. He's pimping home runs.
Yeah.
Just shut up and play the game. Like, to me, that's not about race at all. It's about the type of the personality you have, which again is what baseball needs, personality, and we're trying to suppress it.
Right.
I think these comments are way, way, way blown up. I mean, was it a dumb comment? Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, are you really going to throw people because they have jewelry on?
Right. It's a really. I mean, you could.
Meanwhile, do you see half the Pirate players?
He would have been right. He would have been better off saying, he deserves to be thrown out because he's wearing that Braves jersey. I mean, because that makes more sense to me than he's flashy. He's got some jewelry on. Like what? So now, if he wants to say because Acuna's young, I mean, we've seen that with was it with Acuna? Who was he got thrown at when he first came up, or was that Soto? It was a young player that got called up in a team. They threw at him and they were like, well, we threw at him because he's good and he's young. It was like,
well, I want to say this. I know the Marlins were throwing at Acuna.
That's what it was.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it might have been.
Okay.
But yeah, there was something I thought last year too.
There was Urania that threw at him.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of.
This year.
But didn't they like come out and basically say it was because he was like young and good?
See, that I don't remember off the top of my head now.
So like,
but anyways, yeah.
For whatever reason,
that would be
Acuna is like triggered some
reason.
people, right? Acuna is like triggered some people. But look, we listened to Blass for years. He said some dumb things over the years. I mean, he rambles. He starts yelling about his grandma and
pretty
stuff.
Pretty enjoyable too at the same time. But.
And he's retiring at the end of the year. He's on this like retirement tour, and then he comes out and says these. So it's like, probably not the best time. But no, do I think Steve Blass is racist? No, I mean,
and do I think these comments had any implication of it? I don't. I don't at all.
Blass played with Clemente and Manny Seguin, and he always talks about their friendships with them and everything and all. So no, I don't think. I think it's just an old dude that's out of touch, out of date, that needs to retire and go hang out with the grandkids or something. And it's just it's a stupid comment, but no, I don't think there was any, hidden racism behind it, and I don't know. It does. Wag says fire them all except for Block.
Okay, so what's your take on Block?
If we're talking
about I love Block.
Block's like the new the younger like kind of generation of sports announcers. He's more analytical. He's into the stats. The dude, I can't believe how the dude tweets and calls a game.
Yeah.
Like, he's all over Twitter during the game. He tweets these crazy stats out.
I love Joe Block. And I don't understand why so many people hate him. Now, I will say this. I
don't know, like, people were, like, mad when Never Left or something?
Come on.
Oh, Walk and Block.
That can get awkward.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Now,
there is definitely,
Block can say some stupid stuff, too. I mean, they all do. Yeah. And look, I love Greg Brown. Greg Brown just gets way too excited over a baseball game, but it's awesome. He's passionate, and it's awesome.
Care too much about that.
So yeah, I like Brown. I like Brownie's passion on that. So I don't have a problem with him. But Block, I like Block. He's just that new age, I think, announcer that Minetti with the White Sox that pretty much
like with
took over for Hawk. I mean, that's the kind of I envision like the new kind of broadcasters that are going to be coming into the game are going to be more stat based. But yeah, we follow Block, and he's a great follower.
And he's always like, the game. And like you said, like during the game too, he's like finding stats and stuff, like
I don't know,
analytical stats and stuff. So I mean, yeah, I like Block. I like the stories he tells, whatever. But yeah, this whole thing about Blass, I just think it's way out of proportion.
Tyler says Blass also said that ice was used for different things when he played, so I think he may have had a few. What did he use for ice?
Did he get ice?
Did he put it on his head? I mean, I guess you could put ice on your head. Yeah, I don't know. Blass is he's about done. Yeah, it's a good year to retire.
Blast from the past.
But no, I know I've been kind of surprised. I mean, I was getting notifications from like MLB's At Bat app about Blass's comments.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, oh, shoot.
Right.
So
Anyway,
but we've seen, wasn't it? We had the Reds thing last week. Who was the other team's announcer? Or remember they came into Greg Brown's booth before a game and was yelling at him. Who the heck was that?
Oh my god!
It was like a former coach. It wasn't Kirk Gibson, was it? It was somebody for the Diamondbacks, wasn't it?
It was the Diamondbacks.
And they came in. Who knows that? Shout it out on the chat. Because Brownie talked about it on air. He's like, it was LaRussa. It was that a-hole LaRussa. Yeah. LaRussa came in there and was like, he didn't like what Brownie said about them throwing at players the game before. And he went in there and Brown talked about it. He's like, I never, had experienced like anything kind of like unprofessional as that. And it was like, so, I mean, the Pirates announcers they get into some battles, man.
I guess.
Some scraps.
Nothing like the Tigers, but
yeah, right, yeah.
Literal
they just fight each other. But That's the thing. LaRussa's coming into booths. Wayner's yelling about the Reds. You got Blass over here talking about Acuna's jewelry. I mean, just call the game. I mean, so I don't know. Like I said, I think it was definitely overblown, like you said, but
right.
But I think it's a good thing he's probably retiring.
Yeah. Who do you think? Who do you think comes in? Just talking right now. Who's the next guy? Is it?
I think
is it the Fort. Is he trying to make his?
I mean, he's putting those hats on. He's trying to do something. He's trying to get in there and wear those hats. I think he's the most logical choice because he's 2 years. He's been there. 2 years he's been doing this. Yeah,
this is his second year. Yeah.
So 2 years he's been doing the the pregame, the postgame stuff. I mean, they usually like to go former player in that role, unless they do like some kind of 180 and like Jack Wilson shows up or he's been kind of hanging out like in drafts and stuff. He was like the Pirates representative and things like that. But I mean, as far as like former Pirates, like I mean, we had 20 losing seasons, so like we don't really have the greatest alumni that like stayed here.
And they were all traded, so.
Right? So they have like it's not like we're gonna bring Nate McLaughlin. I mean, we traded. I mean, even Jack Wilson we got rid of. So it's like, who do you bring in? Like there's no Pirate lifer really. I don't know. Do you bring in AJ Burnett? No, he would be entertaining.
Yeah, I just don't see him.
He's having too much fun with the
I feel like the FCC would not like that.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. Yeah, a lot of people don't like
too
McHenry.
Many STFDs on air.
Wag says McHenry sucks. A lot of people don't like the Fort. But...
See, I don't know. I don't. I guess see him enough.
I mean, he does like a lot of like hand gestures like this, and he's like right in the screen, and he like bounces around.
That
he's like,
noticed.
But I mean, if he's not on camera and he's just talking.
Just make him like this, and he'll be good.
Right. I think he would do pretty good if he wasn't like right on the camera and like, hey, this is going on. I got to do something with my hands, and my hands are getting they're getting higher and higher. Like he does that. He's like real stiff. So I think if he's not on air, like he's just talking, and maybe they don't show him as much, I think he'd be all right.
Yeah.
But I like his insight. He does the things with his hands, and it gets kind of distracting.
All right, I think that's wrapping up this show.
That's
We're
right.
talking about things with hands. So I guess we're back Sunday, right, with the latest podcast,
the normal podcast.
One thing I did want to shout, actually. So, oh my
Shout
god,
out.
this is the top of my head right now. The Pirates Charities Night.
Yes. What is that?
I think it's July 2nd this year. It's a lot earlier this year. But if you guys recall listening, last year we had we did like some giveaways, right? So we know that not everyone can afford $250, right, to get one of these bags.
I can't.
But obviously it goes to a really good cause. So what we did last year was we had a GoFundMe.
It goes to Nutting's wallet.
It goes to Nutting's wallet. It goes to Donardo's dugout. Psych. Bad joke. But anyways, basically we had a GoFundMe. If you donated $10, you got a ticket.
Yep.
And of course, every $10 was another ticket. So if you wanted to donate $50, you got 5 tickets. And then, every $250 that we reach, we'll give away that many bags. So last year we collected, trying to get top of, I think it was like $545.
Yeah.
So we gave 2 bags away. One went to, is she still on, Amanda?
She might be.
Which I still owe you a fidget spinner. I'll get out to you when I get home.
She was all over.
She wins everything. And then
Ethan.
Ethan won the second bag. Mm-hmm. So again, last year we had 2 winners, and then we were able to collect $500 and about $50 to the Pirate Charities, which is pretty cool. So this year we want to do the same thing. So I'll have to GoFundMe up quickly. Everyone wanting to know, we'll have it on our website, its own page as well. But we'll definitely get that going. I'm kind of disappointed it's so early this year because now we only have like a month to do it.
Yeah.
Last year we knew it was like in August. We had like 2 months to collect for it.
Right.
So, so
all
we'll
about
definitely
getting
do
out
that.
there. No, but I thought it was good. I thought a lot of people enjoyed it and got involved. And like you said, you get a lot better chance of getting a big bag and a good stuff in there. So
all you need to do is $10 and you have a chance to win a bag.
Amanda's here. She's here.
$250. So
she won a bag.
That's the way I looked at it. It's a way to have. It's a win-win. It's a way to get more money into the charities, and a way for people to actually, maybe get a bag they could have get.
Ethan says he drinks water out of his Pirates charity cup every day.
Water?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
I told.
Cheers.
I told Amanda you're getting her that fidget spinner, so can't believe you forgot. Terrible.
When I think about it, like once you include the shipping and all that, I was probably better off just buying her one right there at the ballpark and just giving it to her.
Right. I had a Pirates fidget spinner. I just moved. I don't know where anything is.
I still have I'd say 4 of them, but now I guess 3 of them at home. So,
right.
Anyways.
Because one of them has Amanda's name on it.
Right. But all right. Well, I think we're done, man. We're out. Any last words, Ryan?
I threw another one out. What about Jack Z joining in the booth, taking over for Blass?
That's
local guy from Newcastle. He's around. He's hanging out on the fan. I mean, he's not. I'm sure he'd take it.
I mean, you want top of the insight and
former
Fort gives
in the
you
game,
the player
GM.
or stuff like that. But like the GM insight, the front office type of insight that you get.
Right.
That would be interesting. And I could see him he's already, like you said, he's already on the fan, making that jump from radio to TV.
Right. Wag says Ken Maka. He filled in for Tickovi.
Well, just because Tyler said it, I disagree.
That's right. Not. But no, Jack Z would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
But who knows? The Fort. Give it to the Fort.
All right. Well, we are out.
We are out of here on Twitch.
All right. Bye-bye.
Peace.